But I don't have time to sit on social media looking for something to talk about that's nasty and rude to other people. Because I'm consistently looking for things to try to make the world better and to try to better myself. And I don't ever have a problem with somebody saying to me, you know what, I think you might look better in this, or why don't you try that? Because that's what queens do. They don't slap the crown off of another queen's head. If her crown is tilted, they come next to her or behind her and they whisper in her ear and they tell her, hey sis, hold still, let me grab this for you. Let me straighten out your crown. Your tag is sticking out in the back of your dress. I don't want to alarm you. I'm going to stick your tag back inside your dress. That's what real queens do. But you wouldn't know it because you don't know what that is. You don't know what that is. I'm a 52-year-old grown woman who has been doing this and getting a check for it for 33 years. Miss me with the she's a hater, she's a this, she's a that. No, at this stage in my career, I'm an expert and I know what the whole hell I'm talking about. I really do. I've done every job in this business. And I don't buy into, because I'm an artist, I don't have the right to respond when someone says something that's out of pocket. That's where y'all got it messed up. Because once again, depending on who you are and where you're from, you wouldn't walk up on somebody in the street and say that, because you might not make it home. This is my official advisement. If you don't like me, get the hell off my social media. It don't affect my bottom line. I promise on everything I love. You don't affect what my life looks like. My bills will still be paid. I will still be driving my car. I will still be flying first class and private in some cases, wherever the hell I want to go. I am not that girl. I don't throw stuff in people's faces because I understand, appreciate, and I know that anything that I have is because God decided to bless me above and beyond what it was that I knew before I became a person that the whole world knows. But you're not a queen. And you're not trying to help. Because if you were, you wouldn't be on the timeline having a whole conversation with other people that you don't know who are responding to the nasty things that you're saying about me. But I will say this, and I'm saying it with all the authority of heaven. Watch your mouth. Keep your tongue off me. I don't even need to go any further than that. Because when it hits you, you're going to know exactly what it is, and God's going to let you see my face so that you understand that that's the reason why everything around you is crashing. If you think I'm ugly, unfollow. If you think I have no taste in clothing, unfollow. If you think that my feet are so big, unfollow. Who gives a damn? My foot was a 9.5 in the 6th grade.
This is the editing version of me, and you are getting ready to witness a mashup video because I have several clips of myself talking and venting and talking about Black women and various topics. So that's what you're getting ready to see. But real quick, I'm popping in because I made a video. This was last week. The video is about Serena Williams and her weight loss. And one of the things I noticed is a very interesting theme in the comment section. So I do want to make a few points here. Point number 1 is groupthink. So when it comes to comment sections, often what I notice is that if one person or several people are commenting something, a lot of the comments start to look very similar to the first subset of comments. And so I think there is a groupthink that happens that can definitely sort of taint a comment section and turn it negative when otherwise it wouldn't be. So my question, and I guess my feedback here, is that if you're giving a creator constructive criticism, if you are giving a creator feedback, it ideally should be constructive. there is no benefit to a creator reading negative things about themselves, because as a creator, often you are being creative and trying to either move a conversation forward or start a conversation about a topic that a lot of people may not even really want to address or be the first one to say. So watch the groupthink, because that is something that can take over in a comment section. Another thing is that I have an academic background. So in the world of academia, critical analysis, cultural analysis, critical thought, those things are very typical. And so here in the online space, the word hating comes up a lot. So this assumption that if I'm giving a critical analysis on something, I'm hating on said person. If I am talking about the culture or critiquing the culture, the online community, many of you all categorize it as hating. And I want you to know that there's a big difference between hating on a person and offering an analysis or critical thought on something. I'm really glad that Kelly Price made this video to, really offer up her thoughts about how she feels with regard to the criticism she received for her looks and her outfit. Again, as she said, her number one priority is not to be a model or a fashion guru. It is her voice. And although however we want to feel about her outfit or my look or whatever you feel about a creator or a creative, the question for you, the criticizer, is what do you bring to the table? Are you being creative? Are you being original? Are you being critical? Are you being analytical? Are you offering up anything of substance or value beyond superficially trying to tear someone down, right? And so I make a big distinction between constructive criticism and just being nasty and mean. And I hope that we all can separate the difference between those two, because there is a difference between somebody who's even just disagreeing versus someone who's disagreeing and being nasty and mean. And as creatives, as content creators, as online personalities, we see the difference. And I would like to say I appreciate Kelly Price and her message to Black women. And very similar, she said a lot in this very 45-minute rant, but she talked about not really caring for all the empowerment, which she says is fake. She talked about a lot, but I'm inserting here some of the key points that I felt like really stood out, and I can relate to what she was saying, because in my video that I put out last week when I was enjoying my holiday weekend, and again, I don't mind people disagreeing with me, but it is the dragging. It is the having to point out things about my appearance or, which has nothing to do with the video. It's one thing to even critique the video, but to try to critique me as a person or how I look or something about me physically is unnecessary. Because again, I am doing my job. This is a job for me, and I enjoy my job, but part of my job includes analyzing the culture. And I think I say it even in the About Me section. If you look at it, when I describe my channel and what my channel is about, my YouTube content is a marriage between my academic knowledge, lived experience, and societal observations as a Black woman. I also provide cultural commentary from the perspective of a modern Black woman. So I'm doing my job, and your job is to, as Kelly Price stated, if it's not your vibe, you don't have to come here and be mean. I agree with Kelly Price when she said that when you come to a content creator's channel or page, it's like coming to someone's house, and you need to be respectful, at least of the creator, at least of the person who's putting out the content that you're watching. So I just wanted to make those points. Again, this is a mashup video, a lot of random thoughts, but all of them, I believe, point in the direction of holding Black women accountable. Stay tuned. When you can't lean on a fake butt, when you can't lean on a designer bag or designer clothes, when you can't lean on fake hair, what then? You actually have to work on your personality. You actually have to bring, your intelligence. You have to have your character intact. People are going to have to learn how to work on their personalities, how to work on their character, because a lot of these things that we thought were valuable are it's being proven that these things no longer really matter. I mentioned no makeup is part of that. I have no, bare face, and being comfortable on camera, being comfortable with hundreds or potentially thousands of people seeing me, seeing the real me, and that being part of this journey that I'm on is pushing myself to get to know who I really am without a mask. And those are the women who get covered, in my humble opinion. I'm here to tell you, there's a strong possibility that whatever you're dealing with, partially it is your fault. Some of it, maybe the whole thing is your fault, but partially, in a lot of cases, it is your fault. And I think one of the challenges we have as women, as Black women, is being able to recognize how we play a role in our own, how we play a role with many of the challenges we have. Again, things do happen and can happen out of our control. Absolutely. In some ways, I am a victim to some things, but there's a lot of things that I'm actually a willing participant. And the work is figuring out, where am I a willing participant versus a victim? A lot of record labels have it built into their budget for their artists to get a BBL. Will the weight loss shot and drug become like this? Is the weight loss drug the new BBL for Black women? Right? Is this a new thing? Will we start seeing a new starter kit? Now it's not about, you got to get a BBL before your next album or before we put you in this movie, but you got to get on Ozempic. Is that going to be the new thing? Let me know your thoughts.